Here, mirror my video because that doesn't
On
look natural.
this episode of the adventures of whatever
Oh,
Ryan
Jesus
named
Christ.
this
You guys never name
campaign.
your party. Like, what am I? Like,
We haven't really. We're still.
Yeah, you're still in the
getting
beginning
accustomed
stages.
to each other.
I'm
We're
not-
still
I'm
in the
not expecting
beginnings, and
anything.
probably by I don't
It'll
know.
happen.
We will come up with a company name for something. Make it like a fucking Lord of the Rings up in here, or The Hobbit, I should say.
Well, to some
Durgar haters.
yeah, the Durgar is just gonna be the BBEGs of the entire campaign now.
You didn't let us
for
into the
very
fucking
like
town.
for I mean rightfully, you know, not letting you into their city.
I don't know, man. All right, if we tell them that we have a bomb and they don't let us in, I think that's just their fault. All right.
Well, to recap, anyway, the Durgar have shut you out of Doomgore, presented with the information that the group, you guys carry a so-called bomb. Literally, your words, not
Okay. Two individuals' words.
two individuals' words. Bomb. And unfortunately, to be fair, I did look back at my notes, and I might have told Cody on one-on-one that it was a metaphorical ticking time bomb, but I never said it was a actual bomb. When I explained to him the chaotic magic of it, like all I said was that like something was there, and he didn't know when it was going to be released. So in that sense, it's a ticking time bomb, but he ran with that thinking it was like an actual bomb, I think.
Yeah, and even if it was actually a bomb, we shouldn't have let up with that anyways.
Yeah, very true, very true. But the mission to cast the amulet into the sphere of annihilation is kaput. It's no more.
Big F.
It's maybe if you guys had spent some extra time, and I mean, I didn't plan for there to be like it would have been definitely a huge ordeal to even sneak into Doomgore and whatnot. You guys went with the safest route, which is to travel back to Duluth and forfeit the amulet to the Arcana Guild in exchange for a small reward and maybe even some more info. So while the whole journey from Duluth to Doomgore was sort of in vain, perhaps maybe Ontero Asgard and his mages might have some more information. But
Ontario Poutine.
Thanks.
I found that image, by the way.
Yeah.
What?
Just look at the tavern.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
That looks like something out of Rust, bro.
Dude, it's straight out of.
Jesus
I mean, yeah, also Rust. I forgot Rust does that. Yeah.
Welcome to. We need to make an
Oh,
NSFW channel for this.
That's amazing.
Delete that.
No, I think without context, it rightfully deserves a place, dude.
Yes.
Sorry, viewers, you don't get to see. But...
Yeah, I don't even think I can show that on YouTube. I don't know.
No, probably not.
I would hope not.
But yeah, walking defeated back through the Diacre Mountains, avoiding the haunting outpost. Let me just kind of throw you guys over to a very familiar
Sketchy as fuck.
scene. Something that's
Oh god damn it, Ryan.
oh, I can hear the robot voice as he's loading.
Yeah.
Throwing you guys over to a more of what you guys see, sort of. But through the hills and the valleys, trekking through deep snow, the storm kind of lets up after a couple days. The journey back is it feels much longer than the initial trek. I think it took you guys a few days to get from the base of the Diacre to Doomgore. However, with the way the weather is and avoiding the outpost, it's estimated it's going to take you probably 4 days. But the first couple days is met with little interaction. Like I've mentioned before in the previous sessions, there isn't much wildlife. There are in some spots, but with the storm and the way you guys were kind of avoiding everything, You run into your occasional snow fox and an elk and stuff like that, but very little interaction. You guys did end up having a hunt session, as sitting down and going through your rations. I know I had mentioned previously in a few in-game days time earlier that you guys were shortly running out of rations. Unfortunately, with the Doomgore situation, about a day and a half after leaving the area of Doomgore, you managed to hunt down a group of snow fox and finally had your first hot meal in a while, actually. But you guys find a nice little inlet, little cave in the side of a mountain to kind of take shelter. And while the storm has died down, the snow has pretty much persisted the entire time. Night falls shortly after, as you guys prepare your tents and a small campfire in the cave. Sitting there, replaying the interactions with the Durgar back through your heads over and over and over, you have pretty much come to accept that while this journey to Doomgore has been in vain, the experiences thus far have been pretty interesting, and you're taking it as an experience. Some of you may not have traveled through the mountains in this kind of be in this predicament in your past. So overall, it's been an experience.
A quick question.
Yes.
Has the amulet shown any kind of activation since the first time?
You don't know. It's been kept in the bag
It's
of
always
holding.
wrapped up.
Yeah, it's always been wrapped up in the bag of holding. So
that's right.
Since none of you have asked Ildjor to take it out and look at it, you don't know. Honestly, the bag of holding is probably the best place to keep it in the event something does happen. I don't think mechanically anything that would happen in the bag of holding extends to your world, because it's a separate plane of existence, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But I think that's how that works. But yeah, you don't know. You don't know if there's... Yeah.
So, thinking about how it's its own pocket dimension, then, can we just, I don't know, maybe get a cinder block and throw it into the ocean, or is that still off the table?
Silvio probably would not allow that.
Yeah, does
It would be
Orochi actually
bag of holding,
say that?
of course, but...
I think Sylvia would be the only, or at least the biggest, would be your biggest pushback against putting it in the sea.
Yeah,
absolutely against throwing it into the fucking ocean as well.
Yeah.
In the event anybody ever suggests throwing it in the ocean, Sylvia basically just says, I have come from the ocean. I know what it's like down there. There's whole civilizations. We have no idea who's going to pick that up. It would be basically the same as putting it anywhere around here in the Diacre. Anybody could just come across it.
Fish people, alright.
I mean,
damn, bro.
I don't really know how many people are actually, and
I'm a lizard. Well, I'm not a lizard.
traveling these mountains, man.
More
It's
from
pretty
dragons,
impressive.
but I'm a reptilian.
He's
You
gonna
don't have
take
wings.
over
I'd
the
call you a
government.
lizard.
Hey,
Sort of. Like a lizard's cousin.
lizard's cousin, yes.
Digressing from the amulet, though, the vision that was kind of brought forth to you from Carlisle, from the creature a few days ago. Ildjor, just to refresh everyone's memory, the vision and the words that were said, specifically the war with the satyrs, has been kind of bouncing around in your head the last couple days.
Me specifically?
You specifically, because of your background. How can, essentially, you're trying to, you're on the conundrum of how does a people, or how do people like satyrs, people that are generally peaceful, how could they follow through with such a war, and with whom, and what is this? What happened? You're not aware in your background of any sort of war happening with satyrs or anybody else, so it's intriguing, but it's also disturbing at the same time. Arosi and Anarian, I'm not sure what your characters would think about everything that happened. In the back of your minds, there was really no definite proof that the adolescent in question was Carlisle, but there's an overwhelming amount of evidence to believe so. And even Carlisle is like 99% sure that could have been him, as he's kind of explained through the journey. Sylvia, the entirety of the vision lines up with some of the stories that Carlisle has told you.
Okay.
Mainly that of him being from the Feywild, and the characteristics and descriptions he's told you in the past kind of line up with what was seen in the vision. So you are wholeheartedly kind of on Carlisle's side and thoroughly believe what he believes, which that in fact was him. But going back to your guys' shelter in the cave, Anarian, and what I'm about to go into is kind of something that happens every once in a while, as needed in the campaign, or as needed in the journey. Taking some snow or some clean water and boiling it to kind of create bacteria-free water in order to kind of clean yourselves. Like, obviously, like wash yourselves off every certain amount of days, like I said, as needed. However, though I don't usually bring something like that small up, this occurrence was particularly eventful. As you take off your armor and dip the washcloth in the hot water, you look to your shoulders and you notice two large, seemingly, they look like handprints, but they're in the shape of the hand of the creature. They don't look anything more than mere bruises, but they're extremely dark, and you can see the long fingers coming out from the palm. It's like a human hand, but like the fingers are spiral-like how I had kind of mentioned before, in the same places where it had touched you. Like I said, it doesn't appear to be anything more than just a bruise, but it's still uncanny nonetheless. And Carlisle as well. As he goes through his sort of wash down, he sees a hand on his shoulder where it had been touched, as well as a handprint around his leg where he was touched in the vision. He is immediately confirms his suspicions, but it's mind-boggling. Did they actually go back? Did the creature affect time? Did something happen where maybe while he was blacked out, the creature touched him and he was kind of seeing it as something else in the he's not really sure, but everybody else kind of collectively takes note of the markings on your body as well as his body, and especially seeing the vision. It's something to think about for sure, how he actually got the marks, especially when it only touched him in the vision. But I guess before you guys kind of head out for the second night, right now you are approximately a couple days journey from the base of the Diacre. Would anybody like to reflect on anything that has happened thus far? You guys haven't really had the chance to sit down and really reflect on what had happened in Doomgore. It's just kind of like all of a sudden we're stuck out here and now we have to go back. I'm curious as to what your characters would be thinking, legitimately in character, what your thoughts would be traveling back to Duluth and getting rid of this thing. Like, where is the mindset of Ildjor, Anarian, Arosi, and Sylvia?
Well, Anarion is probably he's definitely frustrated because of his his background and training and negotiation and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's frustrated that it went that way and that he didn't have as much control over it as he should have. But he's also probably seems a little more relieved now that we're heading away from Star Strider Hold. Didn't decide to go in that direction.
Okay.
Sylvia, she has felt very conflicted ever since the door was closed at Doomgore. She wanted to find a way to still get into the Duergar settlement, but since the majority of the party decided to leave and go back to Jaluth, she accepted that, but she's still upset, basically.
Erosi,
Uh, Orosi is huddled close to whatever fire is nearby. He just looks tired. The cold does not suit him, and he's kind of looks up at everybody in the party. First thing when we get back, we have to find a hot spring or something that's hot. This does not do well for me. This weather is awful.
Beautifully articulated. Iljor?
As far as Iljor goes, he does blame himself a little bit for what happened, since it was me and Carlisle that did most of the talking. Leading to the situation that we have at the end now, where we have to go back. He kind of feels like he failed his mom a little bit. Just because, she entrusted me to get rid of this object. And the one guaranteed way, if Ildra knows that, if we managed to do this, it would be gone for good. And, since we failed to do that, he's, kind of failed what I'd promised, in a way.
That's really interesting, because I hadn't thought about it like that. I understand where you're coming from. Casting it into the sphere of annihilation would destroy it. Taking it to Jaluth would be taking it out of your hands.
It's like making it someone else's problem.
Yeah, I can. I understand where you're coming from, and I have not thought of it that way. So that's interesting. Huddling around the fire, talking amongst yourselves. I don't think, for the most part, anybody's really mad about what happened. At least to the point of long-lasting anger. Resentment. Yeah, that's a better word. I think frustration is definitely on the minds. But things happen. Carlisle especially knows he takes some of the blame, and all they can really ask for is forgiveness. But he's kind of he's weighing the options of what had happened when going into Doomgore, because he's never been. Could it have been more dangerous than traveling back to Jaluth? Perhaps. Could somebody have died? Possibly. Yeah. So, on the bright side, going back to Jaluth is this more frustrating, but ultimately the safest option, and that's kind of where he's at right now. After indulging in conversation a little bit and explaining your viewpoints, everybody has a little bit of the snow fox that was killed the night prior.
Just so you know, this is the first time that the party's ever seen Iljor actively not happy. You know what I mean? He's not necessarily depressed, but he's not jovial and positive like he always is.
Yeah. I think that animosity is kind of shared amongst the party right now. But having your dinner for the night, bathing and reflecting on the past couple days and what's going to happen in the future, everybody kind of takes their rests, sets up their tents, and prepares to sleep. Later in the night, though, Iljor, you have the guard watch approximately around midnight, and you eventually turn it over to Sylvia. Sylvia, you take guard watch duty late, still pretty tired, as you set up with your sword prepared, watching the mouth of the cave. All you really see is the flakes of snow zooming by, the coals and embers of the fire slowly dying out. You nod in and out of sleep, and you're not exactly sure how much time has passed, though you can estimate by this time perhaps maybe 15 or 20 minutes has passed by, if not longer. Though you are nodding in and out, a white light appears at the mouth of the cave, almost blinding you. Peering around you, you hear the soft sounds of the Furbolg sleeping. You can see Anarian and Carlisle through the silhouettes of the tents in their trance. And Arosi kind of moving around. Everybody is deep within their meditation or sleep. This white light isn't making any sort of sound. It's just kind of growing in brightness.
Okay, Sylvia goes over to Carlisle and shakes him awake and asks him, "Do you see this light?"
Carlisle, as you shake him, does not wake up. As you... Sorry, go ahead.
Sylvia's gonna, like, periodically go over to everyone and see if she can wake anybody up.
As you go up to the next tent, you go up to, I believe it would be Arosi's tent, and you frantically look for the zipper, though there is no sort of mechanism to open the tent. In fact, you blink and the entire tent becomes one solid sheet of whatever material it's made out of. Very confused, you look back at the white light as it grows and kind of blinds your eyes as you go to shield your eyes. You blink for a moment. The entirety of your vision goes dark. All sounds around you have ceased to exist. You have this weird sort of like maybe not alleviated, but elevated sort of feeling as sounds begin to fade in, as if you're deep underwater. You begin to sort of have a out-of-body experience as you no longer see through your own eyes, but you're kind of like looking over yourself in the mouth of this cave. The mouth of the cave soon kind of, the white light dies down and flows into what appears to be like a portal or something to the ocean. You are compelled to move in this direction. It's not as if you're moving left foot over right. You are standing there as the scene is engulfing around you. The waters itself, as you look behind in this scene of your friends laying in tents, slowly moves into the background as it's drifting further and further away from you and eventually disappears into the darkness. These waters do not feel terrestrial. It's very dark, especially. Something about this just feels like home. As you begin to swim, I should probably put it on something that's like not birds. As you sort of look around for some sort of indication of direction or where to go, in front of you is a large hill filled with like different coral and fish swimming by. You're almost compelled to swim in that direction. There's no other indicators around you to kind of like move you in any sort of other direction. You are swimming, cresting over the hill, are met with this immense scene of this not tiny but well, I don't want to explain it. It's small. It's like a city. It's this kingdom, but it's not vast in direction. It's vast in height.
not wide.
What's that?
Oh, not wide.
Yeah. Naturally, things like these. Turn the music a little bit. Naturally, things like these, especially underwater cities, as you know very well as a Triton, there's not a whole lot of need to build out. You obviously do build out, but it's because you can swim around and it's basically like flying. Like there's a lot more you can do on your y-axis rather than your x-axis. You know.
Right, because it's very deep.
Yeah, and you can just move. You can maneuver around everywhere. Let me bring you to this scene. And let me pull you to it.
Oh, hell yeah.
As you crest over this hill, you see you see what you see in the vision, this very intricate architectural design that you instantly recognize as that of Tritons. Though this city doesn't appear to be familiar, it feels in a way like you're very comfortable.
Yeah.
You don't feel uneasy regarding being here, though. Because of the events that all happened, like you're not scared. Swimming down. Sorry, go ahead.
Taking a look at myself, do I seem any different?
You don't.
Okay.
You are you. You're wearing the same thing as you did in the cave. Swimming down, getting closer to the city, your vision goes white again. As you go to shield this blinding light, though it doesn't appear to be coming from any particular direction, you open your eyes again, and you now linger in a room. This room, you're still underwater.
Mm-hmm.
This room is rotund. Various tapestries and paintings and books lie around this large circle. As you peer up to the dome-like structure over top, you're not familiar with what's going on up there. It looks to be some sort of like giant tool. Like obviously, if someone like never saw like the huge telescopes we have, they would at least be like, okay, that's like man-made. Like they use that for something.
Yeah.
This structure within the dome of this room appears to be some sort of navigation tool of sorts. Not really sure what it could be navigating to or what could be used for, but it has strong indications through its artwork and its materials and everything, like what's listed to be some sort of navigation tool. Looking around, like I said, it's mainly books, paintings, and tapestries that share the walls. Though peering forward, there is sort of an elevated platform with various sort of like tables and workbenches. Beyond that, a good portion of the wall is entirely glass, and you can kind of almost see out beyond into the kingdom below, as a silhouette is standing, peering out the window. This silhouette appears to be humanoid, tall, muscular, and as you catch a glimpse of light on him, he appears to have green skin. This aura about this person strikes you with awe. Before you can say anything, you hear this booming voice. My child. As you turn around and see personified this this masculine Triton with light green skin. As you sort of take a moment to take that in, you see a pinkish green conch shell sitting on one of the workbenches, an easy giveaway if you had seen that first. But as he turns around, he's just peering at you.
What am I doing here?
Your trials and tribulations have gotten you here. Starving in the Diacre with men you barely know. I will say, you've made it a lot further than I thought you would. How much longer shall you be with these individuals?
I don't truly know, but I plan on at least accompanying them until this amulet is the amulet situation is resolved, and I'm going to weigh my options after that. I'm not sure where I want to go. I want to be ready before I return to my true home.
Sylvia, I've granted you access to the plane of water so that I could speak to you here regarding your journey. Once your mission is through, I need you back in Vriol. The time for explaining will come once you get there. And I'm not meaning to interrupt whatever quest you are currently on. But it's your mother.
What about her?
Well, don't be worried. She's fine. She is, how you say, going through some trials and tribulations herself. She's not hurt. She's not harmed. I can see into her. She misses you.
I miss her as well.
I've been watching
I'll
you
be
the past
sure-
few days.
Yeah.
It seems to me you've set yourselves apart from the typical Triton. going to the land of the surface dwellers and indulging in their culture and learning more from them. I respect it. I really do. But the Triton people are going to need numbers for something coming. I need you to trust me on this, Sylvia.
I understand.
He turns around and peers back out the window amongst this kingdom that you have now realized is in the plane of water, transported into seemingly a different plane of existence. Everything falling into place. That's why this place feels like home. That's why you felt so comfortable here. Persona turns back around. I'm afraid we don't have much time to talk. I must get back to my work. Listen. I have something for you. Well, more for Carlisle. And he hands you a it's almost like parchment. But it's like a material. I can't like get really in depth with it because obviously the plane of water wouldn't have parchment as you would know it in Hrathen. This is sort of like material that could be written on by Triton and like other sea creatures, like sea folk, essentially. But he gives you a slip. And he says, here. Carlisle will understand.
I take it and read it.
This slip of, I'm just going to call it parchment for now, has a set
Sea paper.
Has a set of runes that you have never seen before. This isn't any sort of language of the plane of water that you've ever seen or that you've ever like read or before or anything. But after he watches you attempt to, decipher it, he says,
and I'm gonna try to memorize it as best I can, exactly what they look like.
Okay. Those runes, Carlisle will be able to decipher. Trust me, Sylvia. Big things are happening for the Triton people, and I need you there. Farewell, Sylvia Orlai.
Thank you, Persona.
As you see him turn, this great whiteness from the windows begins to overwhelm your vision once more. The sounds of underwater stop. The music stops. You are thrust back into the cave as you seemingly jerk your head up. Let me just make sure you're here. Yeah, you jerk your head up, seemingly within a dream. As you look to your right, Carlisle's tent is undisturbed, as well as Arosi's. This vision, this dream, as best you can put it, is maybe took 15 seconds in real time. It feels, but you come to and realize you might have been a dream. But nevertheless, the coals of the fire are still burning behind you ever so slightly, and everybody remains asleep. And with that, Cody, I'm going to go ahead and throw you in here.
Yep.
He here.
Yarp.
Hasn't been too long since you guys started. It looks like you posted Zoom link at 6:14.
Yeah, only an hour.
We
Yeah.
started at 7:25. We've been for a half hour.
Brian's time, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's not bad.
No, you haven't missed a whole bunch.
Basically,
Oh.
just all of us being brooding ass motherfuckers.
And is it close to morning?
No, it's probably the dead of night. Maybe
Oh.
between 1 and 4 in the morning.
Has Carlisle or Nerion finished their like trance? Because it's like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 4 hours.
Yeah, it's only 4 hours, but they had started like probably around 11 or midnight as the conversations went on for a little bit. So they're probably only an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours into their trance. But as you look around and you think for but a moment, you instinctively want to reach in your pocket, and as you're compelled to, you find the slip of parchment in your pocket with the runes, seemingly convincing you that something actually happened.
I see.
Real question is it still wet?
It's
Soggy paper.
So the way that this kind of works in terms of like if it meets air, it will immediately become like dry. And it's still like dry underwater, but it's like wet, but it's kind of
like hydrophobic or something.
It works.
It's like super hydrophobic.
It kind of, but it's also kind of magically imbued a little bit. Not in the plane of water, because that's just how it is, but like
Yeah.
it was magically imbued by Persona to function correctly in your world.
I see. Okay.
Magic sea paper.
So Sylvia turns to Carlisle, because I think they sleep in the same tent. Because I don't think Carlisle carries his own tent. She turns to Carlisle and kind of nudges him awake, or out of his trance.
Whoa, what is
I just had a strange vision, unlike the ones I've had previous that Persona's given me. I feel it's reminiscent of the vision you had a few days ago, with the creature, because it somehow altered reality here, although that just may be the doing of Persona himself. But I had drifted into the plane of water and entered this city, and I was shifted into this dome-like building with a navigation device above me, and books around. Persona was there, and he had given me this parchment with runes on them and he said that you, Carlisle, would be able to decipher them, and I have no idea what they mean, but apparently he gave it to me here. And she pulls out the parchment and hands it over.
Carlisle,
I hope to not let you down here.
looking at the piece of parchment, there are sets of runes in a language that you have never seen and you were not able to read outright.
Oh. Normally, I have really no idea what these runes are, but with like everything I do, I'm gonna cast count.
Okay.
My trap card, comprehend languages.
My favorite spell. Yeah.
As you cast comprehend languages, I'm not sure if that's verbal, but if it is, you mutter incantations under your breath to kind of be aware of everybody else asleep, as the runes, only to you, begin to take form and spell out a message, which I will shoot over to you right now.
Comprehend languages is actually all. It's verbal, somatic, and material.
Is that all? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
You fuck stupid.
I'll look at it. I'll just kind of laugh, and I was like, "Well, they have a little bit of a sense of humor. Woke me up to say, you're welcome." That's all it says,
Really?
as far as I can tell. Unless my magic's faulty.
Magic gland is broken.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was important based off of Persana's tone, but sometimes he speaks in mysterious ways. Not sure exactly what that means.
Yeah, I would definitely reconfirm, maybe with someone who might speak this language, but should be able to understand. That's all.
What language is it?
You don't know. The characters themselves don't have any sort of resemblance to the Dwarvish alphabet or the Elvish alphabet or anything of that sort. It's the Draconic alphabet.
Or abyssal or primordial?
Abyssal or primordial.
Okay.
This is probably something created by gods themselves.
That's God speech.
It's God talk.
Yeah.
It's just called runic.
Whole day of.
And one more thing. Persona called me to return to Vreel, the city I left, where I was living in most recently. At least when I was living underwater. And I think I need to return there after this amulet is resolved.
Good.
What?
For good.
All I heard was
A little
good.
bit.
Oh, yeah, all I heard was
Like,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Fuck
damn.
you're going back to your fish town.
Yeah, I was a little confused.
It could have been how I'm changing the voice sensitivity because
Yeah.
earlier you can hear the TV in there when sometimes when we're playing, so I turned it up
Yeah.
and so it cuts out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said for good, are you returning for good?
I'm not sure exactly, but as you know, there are big threats in the sea that it might take my whole lifetime to fight them back and truly free the world from their influence. But I'm not sure exactly how long I'll be.
Seems to me you spent a lot of your time up here helping others. But maybe what you need to do is finally seek help while you're up here. If you are to take whatever you've told me on, then your circumstances, how should I say, completely up in the air. It's almost as if I don't think you're going to be able to handle the problem that you want to solve,
I don't get that feeling either, but
given its scale.
yeah. Probably not on my own, but you know, there's a whole city. And I suppose I could ask this group to help.
I don't mean just this group. When you came out of the city beneath the water, you did come up to some city on the material plane, or town, or whatever it may be. Maybe when you go back there, you inform them and any more you deem helpful to aid you in this massive threat. The party, I'm sure, will lend their services to you, as will I.
Well, that
But will it
depends
be
on
enough?
when I tell them what it is.
No, I
Not-
mean, I'm sure they're just, most of them are full of resolve. And they've been traveling with you for long enough. I think we have our own slew of problems. If you do help the Furbolg with this problem of the amulet and see through it, I'm sure he would do the same.
First we'd need some way for everyone to be able to enter the sea without drowning. So that's a whole nother
Logistically,
issue.
Eli,
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
the Triton people have been developing a means for land, for surface dwellers to travel to the depths and overcome the pressure and cold of.
Okay.
It's not something that they just lend out, and it's certainly
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's in its early stages, but it's something that's still being developed in terms of like getting better.
It's in
Yeah,
the beta.
kind of new technology that isn't quite open to everyone. yet.
Yeah, and it's not. I wouldn't say it's not like beta. It's not like in beta or anything. Like they have like models, I guess, but like it's not the
It's not
most
for everyone.
comfortable. It's not the most like, you know, it's just not the best. It sucks essentially, but it can work.
Yeah.
And they don't lend it out to just anybody who waltzes in and wants to buy one. I don't even think they'd really be commercially available, but.
Okay, I see. Well, yeah, I suppose I'll have to tell everyone. Do you think it's best now? Once everyone's awake?
I think it's best once we dispose of the amulet.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Given the situation, asking them to help you is going to be the easy part. Even getting them to help you.
Truly?
I believe so.
Okay. What's the hard part?
It.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, I
Rest
suppose we
assured,
should,
we'll take care of it, though.
perhaps, well, I'll leave you back to resting. Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
Sylvia.
Or I kind of look at the note, you're welcome.
Sylvia, as you let Carlisle go back to rest and you finish your guard duty for the night, interchanging with everybody else, the sun eventually reaches the horizon as a new day passes over the Diaker Mountains. The next 2 days trekking on the downhill slopes of the Diaker towards Thaldor. You stop every so often to rest a little bit, snack. The storm lets up a lot. The snowfall still persists as usual, though getting to where you are now, being so close to the base, it's a lot more manageable. It's a lot more easier.
Ryan, also, for the trek back, at least for these last couple of days, I'm going to prepare the spell Goodberry.
Okay.
Which is enough food to sustain up to, I believe it is 6 people for 24 hours.
Okay.
Just so we don't have to hunt anymore. I don't want to damage the ecosystem
Okay.
of the mountain anymore that we already have.
Okay, very well.
We can pull it up specifically if you'd like.
No, you're good. The next 2 days, finally reaching the base of the Diaker. Much like the first couple days, not seeing much of any sort of interaction. Carlisle, as I explained to everybody else during the last few days, when you guys had left Doomgore, 2 days had passed. Sylvia has had this vision, and now we're kind of getting to the end of passing through the Diaker. It's taken 4 days, not really a lot, but somewhat longer than the initial trek there. Reaching the base of the Diaker, the weather grows much warmer. The snow had died down several miles from the base. The storm that did persist there about a week ago when you had initially went up there is nowhere near as bad. The snow lets up. The coldness begins to kind of fade into the more temperate climate of the base of the Diaker. The 6-hour trek back to Thaldor is long. Let me kind of activate this scene. And take away this. It is 6 hours back to Thaldor. On foot. If you guys remember, you had left your horse and carriage to Khadgar, who gracefully accepted responsibility and had released them back to the what am I thinking of? Stables.
Thieves Guild?
Fables.
Yeah, the stables. But the 6-hour journey, stopping every so often to eat and to rest a little bit, you reach Thaldor at approximately, I want to say around 4 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And I believe I wonder if it's a rest day for them. It is Friday, so it is a rest day for them. So a lot of your shops, a lot of your... if you remember when you initially came to Thaldor, there's not a lot of bustling activity. But you guys enter the city the same way you came in. It doesn't look too eerily unfamiliar, but it is up to you to do with the rest of the day as you please.
I agree with Erosi. I think we need a hot bath and some hot food
Yes.
and a warm bed.
Oh, a bed would be nice. I haven't had it in a while.
Oh, the druid has become comfortable with the bedding, has he? Is he,
Well,
or
you
do
know,
you
I
still...
mean, sleeping on the hard stone ground in a cold mountain, man. I mean, that's not really quite what I'm used to.
I suppose dirt naps are still champion for you, though, Iljor.
He needs a root in his back.
Yes.
Perhaps means something else where I'm from.
I mean, they mean death for us too. I mean,
Yes.
we don't sleep in the dirt, man. We do have like bedding, it's just like on the ground most of the time.
Oh.
It's filled with sticks.
It's just
rocks.
in the dirt.
No, that's my pillow.
The dirt?
No, the rock.
So the first thing on the agenda is an inn, I presume, of some
Yeah,
sorts.
absolutely.
An inn and a warm bath, or if there's hot springs, we can go for hot springs. But I don't think we would have hot springs in Thalador, would we?
Hot springs. I'm not like naturally occurring springs.
Or just like a hot spring.
Or just a
place.
really, just a place to have a hot bath,
Like a
really,
bathhouse.
at the end of the day. Yeah, or a bathhouse.
Thalador? Yeah, probably. I'd say in Thalador there's definitely a spot where people would go to indulge in, a hot bath, because not every person can do that every so often, at least in their own place. So yeah, reaching it in the late afternoon, walking amongst the city, sort of kind of in the same areas that you have known previously and where you had stayed. You do find a bathhouse somewhere that's pretty cheap. It doesn't need to be fancy. It's just something to kind of wash the journey of the Diaker away. And that's essentially what happens. The shortness and the length, and depends on how long you guys want to go there, or how long you want to be there. But the overall kind of wash down would be about a silver, 2 silver if you spend a long lasting time in there. But that's completely up to your characters and their needs.
Imagining Iljor with like a tiny towel, like a normal human-sized towel.
Yeah, while the towels are in particularly a little small for you, I mean, there's large ones that can accommodate your stature. But yeah, 1 or 2 silver for the bath. Was it the what was the name of the inn in Thalador? Was it the Red Rest, or was that in Jaluk?
Yeah. No, it was the Red Rest.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was.
Either way, you guys head back to the Red Rest. I'm like really crossing my fingers as I have a lot of notes here. Yeah, really hope it's the Red Rest.
I'm pretty sure it was. I don't actually have. That's the one thing I don't have fucking written down was the inn name.
Yeah. I might... No, that might have been for Julius. I was taking notes at one point thoroughly, and then I stopped.
Oh,
Wait,
Red Rest is in Jaluk.
Okay.
Was it the golden something? Golden trout? Golden something?
Yes, it was the golden.
That was the one that we went to meet your buddy at.
Yes, that was.
That's where we also
Yeah.
decided to stay, I think.
No, because that wasn't the one that the Adventurers Guild sent us to.
Yeah.
God damn it, Ryan.
The Adventurers Guild sent us to a different inn. Remember, we went on a we went on a bar crawl. Remember, and that's how we ended up finding the
Finding
right
it.
inn for your buddy. And but
Yeah.
that wasn't the one that we stayed at. We stayed at. I'm pretty sure it was the Red Rest that we stayed at.
Yeah. Well, the Red
Red
Rest
Rest
was
is
in
in
Duluth. We had, I believe it was the
Oh
golden.
wait, that's right.
The Golden Trout is where we were at.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what's coming to mind.
Yeah, that's where you guys had found out the information about Khadgar. Regardless,
Yeah.
I'll have to consult my
either
We'll
notes.
way.
just go there. We'll just go there.
Okay,
We'll,
sure.
we'll find an
Sure.
inn, find a hot bath.
I'll start writing inn names down for
Nah,
you.
it's somewhere in here. I just didn't want to be. I'm glad I didn't say Red Rest because that would have been like kind of confusing for me. It's in here somewhere, but
You should put it on the calendar whenever we arrive at an inn. So that way-
specifically put that event in when you guys.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Big event, guys. We stopped at
Party
an inn.
arrives at.
yeah, the D&D party stopped at an inn. Better write that down.
Make it make the entire campaign of just we got to visit all the inns and get trashed at all of them.
And crawl.
In crawl.
Anarion does spend, after we like take the bath and go back to the inn, he does spend a good amount of time in the tavern section, kind of enjoying some drinks, relaxing after the mental stress that he's had going on.
Yeah, very well. Is there anything else the group would like to do? As it's getting kind of later in the evening and shops are closing, it is a rest day, so you don't have very much time. You may be able to hit like one place, but that's it. If anybody would like to kind of...
Do we have any significant objects that we picked up on the way? I can't remember. Like, besides the books, is there anything else that we?
Everybody check their
picked up?
inventory, I guess.
The most significant thing that I have is I still have the figurine, the Golden Lions figurine. It's just one of them, but I haven't bothered anything with that.
That was way before, though.
That was way before.
Yeah.
I still haven't touched the thing. Arosi,
I was
if
just
anything,
curious.
is probably gonna go to the shops the day after.
I gave away the books I picked up.
Yeah, I have them.
Yeah, Eldor has
Yeah,
them.
Eldor.
I am gonna go try and find that shop again.
The one with
shops
the old
are
lady.
closed, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, it was a rest day when we were here last time too, and she was open.
Yeah.
Actually, if it's possible, I might just stop by a general store and pick up a compass.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. Yeah,
Okay.
a compass and maybe a map. Even if it's a large world map that's not too terribly useful.
Okay.
And gold.
Iljor, as you maneuver around the streets and dusk is within sight, essentially, the shop that little old lady Marianne had run is currently closed. The hours of this place range, really, and especially with a little hole in the wall shop like this, and especially being on a rest day going into dusk. It is locked up. There doesn't appear to be anything suspicious or abnormal about it. Nothing weird. It's just closed for the afternoon.
Oh darn! I was hoping to say hi.
You also have your Trent statue in your bag of holding.
Trent.
Yeah,
Yes.
Trent. I think I'm just gonna name that
Named
motherfucker.
Trent.
I think I'm
Yeah.
just gonna name that motherfucker Trent the Treant.
Yes.
What were you, Rose? You said you were. What were you?
Arosi, being unfamiliar with how the world works outside of standard society, he's gonna go buy a compass and map because being in the wilderness is kind of terrifying.
Okay.
If you
I guess that kind of
wanna-
begs the question for the entire party because I have the fog of war system on. What would everybody rather do? See the world map, or enable fog of war and explore it as you go?
I
like
mean,
to explore.
can we not purchase an area like a local map?
Yeah.
You can. It should be under your quest items still, as just
So
the
we do
northwestern
have-
world.
You had actually, yeah, that would probably do just as fine.
I
We
don't
don't
This
necessarily
area-
need a
no.
world map. This area would be.
Yeah.
This is where we've been so far.
Yeah,
Until
I mean,
we
I think
leave.
that's fine.
You're familiar with the continent. If you're looking, are you looking for a map of like the particular area, Arosi, or?
Yeah, let's just make it a map of the particular area, and I'll just pick up more as it's necessary.
Okay, so like just a map of Thaldor, or like the country.
The country.
Okay, the country of Caldera. Yeah, I mean, just add it to your inventory. I mean, we'll just put it as waitlist. It doesn't really matter. It's just a little map of
Yeah.
Caldera.
So the general store is open.
Yes. The general stores probably have about another hour on their clocks before they close down, as everything kind of comes to an abrupt stop around 6 p.m. in the afternoon.
Okay. Sylvia's gonna try to sell her fur clothing. She doesn't really need it anymore.
Okay. What are you trying to sell it for?
How much was the fur clothing when we bought it?
Cold weather gear was I don't remember.
Not much.
I don't remember either.
We paid about
Oh.
some total of
I mean,
10.
in the book, it's like 10 GP.
Yeah, 10 gold.
Okay.
Let me roll.
But I don't
something.
think Ryan charged us that much for it.
No, I think it was like 5 or something around there.
We'll say this particular shop is a little bit kind of doesn't exactly know how much it's worth either. It gives you like 3
Okay.
gold.
Okay.
A shop at
Like
the basement at the base of mountains that doesn't know how much cold weather gear costs.
Maybe.
Uh,
Well, remember the
shop
Staldor
might
is
not
6
know.
hours from the base of the Dieker, so it's like. And
Okay.
plus, I don't know the fucking thing off the top of my head. Rap, jeez, I have it written down.
That's what I was meaning on.
And then I'm gonna buy some rope
Okay.
as well. How much? Let's see. I'll just look it up.
About a few.
If everybody is content with their belongings and what they would like to buy for the rest of the day, what's up?
I'm gonna go buy materials for making a wizard hat.
Okay.
Yes.
Why not buy a wizard hat?
Because you can craft one for cheaper.
Okay, so you go out, you find a little small embroidery shop. You buy the materials. We'll get into the logistics of that after session probably, unless you know off the top of your head how much that would be.
No, I don't. We talked about it. I have the note thing for the crafting items thing we talked about, but
Yeah. Okay, we'll get into the logistics post session, but you're able to kind of put together collectively the right amount of materials for a rudimentary wizard hat that you don't have much experience in crafting, I don't think.
Right.
But you've watched a couple tutorials on YouTube, and you think you might be able to get the hang of it.
yeah. Build your own wizard hat.
But
remember this step. Don't fuck this one up, guys. This is how you get the magic to work.
well, no, he's gonna say on step 12 that you should have done something step 4, on step 4, but you didn't do. It's like we're on step 12, but you should have make sure you do this on step 4.
Yeah, he's gonna assume you watched the entire video before you started.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume you guys already know how to do like half of this shit.
But so you buy the materials for the wizard hat and kind of have a basic understanding of how to create a wizard hat.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody like to do before the sun sets and you turn into your rooms?
I'm probably gonna go back to the inn and probably join an area for drinks.
Yeah,
But
get drunk.
yeah,
Very well.
Until we're drunk.
Can I assume everybody
El
just kind of
George shall
stops?
return to the tavern as well.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair, yeah.
Okay. Everybody kind of meets up in the tavern. Actually, I think I might have a scene perfect for this that I have not used yet.
Alcoholic scene.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, brothers! I can even turn this motherfucker on. Hold on.
Ooh.
Rope, 50 feet.
Those Dwargar.
Yup.
The rope has 2 hit points and can be burst with a DC 17 strength check.
It says it's
So-
1 gold, so I subtracted 1 gold. Can I actually fit this rope on me? I feel like my equipment just weighs so much.
No, put rope to 1 pound, bro. Fuck that. Fuck that
Okay,
10-pound
yeah.
shit.
True.
You should get more strength points. Says the fighter.
The collectiveness of you guys are able to, you're able to order your drinks, order a hot meal, very simplistic kind of meals, and basic ale. I'm assuming Ildror has his signature root brew on hand and ready to order.
After I finish my first round of drinks, I just say to everyone, guys, I kind of do feel a little bit bad how about their things turned out, and in an apology, I'm gonna buy all yous a round of drinks, and let's get a little bit drunk tonight.
Well, I appreciate it.
I go up to the innkeeper. What does he look like? Ryan, describe the innkeeper.
The innkeeper is a kind of tallish gnome, above average size, but this gnome is kind of wears very common garb, like white on brown with like hide armor. Nothing too crazy. He's to the point. So far as you guys have been at the tavern, he's straight to the point of like, what do you want? That's how much that's going to be. And he gets your drinks and food out in a timely manner. So there's no room for small talk with this gnome. But as soon as you walk up to the countertop, he kind of like, you can see the top of his hat kind of maneuver over the counter as he hops up onto a stool and begins to pen on paper, take your order as you say it.
What's the most expensive drink you got in the tavern?
That'd be Dragon's Breath.
How much?
That'd be probably 2 gold.
Okay. What's the one step below Dragon's Breath? I had a bad experience with that.
Chronix Brew. It's a gold and a half, and
Chronix Brew.
it's brewed right here in Caldera.
I'll take 5 of them.
Me and my homies sip that chronic.
Dude, I thought of it like off the top of my head. God damn it! Fuck you guys.
Y'all got me
That's
lean.
pretty good. It's pretty good, man.
No smoking on that chronic.
Drinking on that chronic, bro.
Sipping on that lean.
Can I get a vodka tonic?
Yeah, the gnome very quickly steps down from a stool, takes your gold. Within a couple minutes, is kind of carrying these drinks. Chronix Brew. Fuck you guys, man. Gnome comes back, hands full of brew, as he sets it on the table, kind of spilling out off the sides, and just kind of pushes it your way, very quickly. Enjoy. And as he jumps back down, he goes back to another patron.
Everyone, take your glass. I pass them out, like if people can't reach them from the middle of the table.
Or is he just grabs the mug one-handed and kind of slams it down in front of him?
Okay.
I'm not
I
gonna
thank
say.
you all for your companionship in this difficult travel that we had. And just thanks, guys, because I know it didn't work out.
Hey, Iljor. We were freezing out there, but we froze together. And Orosi raises his mug.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And
Cheers.
at least we got some information from it. We got all those books. And we sort of.
So
know
no
what's out
con
there.
check?
The effect of chronic brew.
You guys begin to feel very lightheaded.
Nice old big green drink.
It's like neon blue. Like
man.
Nuka-Cola Quantum levels of blue.
Nuka-Cola.
I improvised for 1 second.
God damn it.
The motherfuckers got me.
Everybody collectively enjoys their sips of Chronix Brew as getting well into the night.
The tasting notes.
Yeah, I mean, like, you order different drinks and kind of tasting. You just kind of
I mean,
enjoy
what
your
does
time.
the chronic brew taste like?
Oh,
give us some tasting notes here.
It's very earthy.
Like a little bit of gasoline.
Yeah, a little bit, you know. It's not unpleasant, but it definitely gets you inebriated fairly quickly. But doesn't have the effects of, like, you don't feel like you want to throw up or anything. It sits very well in the stomach. So it's easy to sip on and drink for
Wild.
vast amounts of time, and yeah. So.
Drinking that OG Pilsner. Jeez.
Ushenbach next.
Yeah.
So, thinking about the business that we have to do left, what are we on to next, or will we decide after?
Well, we still gotta go give the amulet to. I don't remember what was his name. Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah, close.
Ohio gozaimasu?
Antara.
Oh yeah, that's Ontario.
Ontario. Yeah, Ontario.
Antara.
That was the one.
Tarot card. Yeah, that was the one.
Jesus Christ.
This is a mess. We are kind of drunk in game, though.
True.
So after we go see Ohio, I forget.
Yeah, we can worry about it tomorrow.
We'll worry about it tomorrow.
The drinks are shared amongst the group, even kind of indulging in conversation with several other patrons about various things, culture, and experiences. The night passes fairly quickly, as before too long, eventually everybody ends up in their respective rooms that cost 5 silver for the night. From each person, as everybody drunkenly wants their own room to kind of spend some alone time for the first goddamn time in what feels like forever.
Forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since you guys collectively had your own individual privacy, understandably. But as everybody turns into their rooms, like I said, the night passes by fairly quickly. Until morning comes.
Still here, but I'm gonna go get a drink.
All right. The town of Thal'dor awakens in the morning as the sounds of people walking and horse and carriages begin to come from the windows, from the streets. The city is bustling on a Saturday. Kind of the day in between the 2 rest days. There is no hangover. You don't feel like you had a crazy night whatsoever. This Chronix brew just leaves no trace of like a after feeling of resentment of yourself, like throwing
Bro,
up.
I'm gonna have to go
I
get a
see
bottle of that
what the
chronic, bro.
I think I know why they call it chronic.
We're all about to get addicted.
God, I
That
think
chronic
I'm
lean, bro.
But yeah,
Yeah, that shit kind of smooth. That shit.
it's about 9 a.m. You didn't oversleep. You didn't oversleep crazy. A lot of you probably got maybe 5 to 7 hours of sleep, though, if you feel particularly rested. As these days have gone by of little sleep, it's kind of, you guys are getting used to it, essentially. But yeah, what would everybody like to do?
Ildor's probably still feeling a little bit tired. He slept pretty well, but had some bad dreams in the middle of the night. But he's wakes up. Oh, gotta get the guys together. Come on, guys. We gotta go to the Magic Guild.
You guys still have to make it to Duluth. You guys are in Thal'dor right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
we are in Thal'dor. We
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Yeah, we still gotta make it to the Magic Guild. Just not in this town.
Just not in this town. Orosi kind of stumbles out of his room. He's kind of just got his pants on. And he kind of looks at the Furbolg. A moment, please. And Orosi kind of walks past him and just goes to take a step outside of the inn and just bask in the sun for a
He's doing
moment.
like the hop thing, like trying to get his pants on. You know,
Yeah.
like while he's
Becoming a lizard.
Yeah.
Ugh. After spending so many days and nights in that cold cloud cover, you'd never think you'd miss the sun.
This is exceptionally true, Orosi, as you are taking in the sun for the first time in a long time. The warmth and your sort of cold-blooded nature just fills your entire body. It's like I'm thinking of like a bearded dragon fucking basking on a rock.
Yeah.
Like,
Like a lamp on a fucking sun lamp.
You know,
Yeah.
He's sunning.
sunning right now. But yeah, the feeling is immense.
Now I'm just imagining like him in like a lawn, like a beach chair with like the reflector thing, you know, like the
Oh,
three
yeah, yeah.
piece sun
Squidward out on his fucking
yeah.
Sunglasses on him.
some suntan lotion like on the nose only.
Yes.
The dragon nose.
And Arion doesn't have any plans in particular. He's just kind of staying with the group, rearing to go.
I gotta go check on this shop again. This very nice old lady, he gave me this statue of this treant named Trent. And I just want to go say hi before we leave.
First of all, Raptor, you know why we call him Trent, right?
Because I misspelled it.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make that readily apparent. You do not know how to spell.
Ildjor is not the most well-educated, okay? He's wise, he's not intelligent.
The old Osk-Kez. The old Osk-Kez excuse. Gotcha.
Creature Seller 2.0. Trent the Treant.
I was writing, but I was still in the mind of my character. Sylvia's gonna join him, see what's up with this lady.
This shop is kind of on your way to get to your particular horse and carriage. Anyway, but Ildjor, as you stop by the place, it is still closed. Looking on the current sheet of looking closely at like the hours, as you're just kind of like, why has this shop been closed? Like, should be open. Yeah. The hours particularly do mention they are closed. The hours on the weekend are kind of up in the air, especially on rest days.
Well, today's not a rest day.
Well, I mean, so the weekends. I mean.
I thought the whole weekend was a rest day.
No, Fridays and
it's
Sundays.
A rest day, action.
Oh, Fridays
day,
and Sundays.
Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hours can be up in the air for certain hole-in-the-wall shops. More established shops and chains tend to have strict hours, but this lady.
Yeah, McDonald's is open.
Yeah. Yeah, McDonald's is open fairly, no matter what day it is, and they're definitely understaffed and underpaying.
They're serving, bro.
But more hole-in-the-wall shops, more of your kind of mom-and-pop shops tend to make their own hours.
Is there like a mail slot?
Yeah. You could find some like for deliveries and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I borrow a quill from somebody real quick? I just want to write her in.
Sure. I think I might have one.
Somebody's
I
got
should all have an ink and quill.
I do.
It comes with the adventuring kit.
Okay.
So I just quick write out a note. Marianne, I hope your shop is doing well. Thank you for Trent, the treant. He kept me good company in the Diagra Mountains. Good business.
None of us did, though.
Trent's this Furbolg's
He's
only
talking
friend.
to this. Yeah. I've been
And then
here
I just-
with you from the get-go, buddy.
Fold it up. Pop it through the mail slot.
Okay. As the mail slot comes down, permanently fixing the note within her little mailbox. Yeah.
All right.
Heading back to the northern parts, to grab your horse and carriage. The horse and carriage appears to be undisturbed, as far as like it doesn't appear to be used in any sort of sense. The horses look well kept, and yeah, it's like how you saw it. There's even a little bit of feed in there that would last you to Duluth, as it appears Khadgar has freshly replenished the stock.
Such a good lad.
Oh, I had just remembered. We need to buy rations. All of us.
Oh, yes, we do. I'm not even there, am I? I don't even know.
Yeah,
You're there.
everybody's
We're all there.
Yeah, we're all there?
Yeah.
Alright, wonderful.
Yeah, we probably are fucked up on
We
rations.
probably should buy some rations.
Okay.
I'll buy the same thing I had, that way I don't get to manage my inventory.
Yeah,
That's a little
we
lazy,
could
that's
say,
good.
I mean, in character, you guys would have remembered. Or do you guys stop along the
Waste
way?
money.
Yeah. It's like two days worth or something.
Yeah, how far is the... I don't have the map up right now.
Ooh, shit, they
I
closed
don't remember how
an
far
hour
of a
and half.
journey it was.
Eldor probably would only buy like 2 days worth of supplies just because he can actually make food.
I'll buy enough
And
to
whether
make the
it's
journey
necessary.
plus 1 day.
Okay.
It's 5 silver per.
Okay. Yeah, just we'll say in light of you guys getting there and like your characters would know to buy the rations before you had gotten to the horse and carriage, essentially.
Alright.
But yeah, the horses appear to be healthy, freshly stocked in their feed, and are ready to go.
My friends, it was great traveling with you, but I have some bad news. Well, not so much for you, but for somebody else. And it requires me to take some time alone from you. But you could have the horse and carriage. You could have the compass. I have a map of Caldera. Please, for the love of the gods, don't get lost. But
I mean, the road is pretty good.
I have some personal business that needs attending to. I need to go speak with Khadgar once more and need to investigate into this cult. He knows a little bit more about it. That, and I could probably find some more of my brothers elsewhere among these lands. If he's around here, there might be more. This might be the time where we part ways for now.
Is there some way that we might be able to contact you again in the future?
For as far as I know, I'll be in Thaldor. If you know where Khadgar is.
Is there
Probably
any
reach-
type of like message? Is there like a mail service? Is
Yeah.
that an actual thing, Ryan?
Yes. There is. I haven't fully fleshed it out. If you parted ways with Arosi, there wouldn't be a definite like. Let me think about that.
Okay.
At the very least, there's the Adventurers Guild as well.
Yeah.
That too.
They can probably pass messages along.
Yeah, I'd say the Adventurers Guild would probably be your best bet currently, as the game state is in the state of the game, the way the state of the game is. Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, since we were talking about it earlier, why not take the time to make ourselves a party registered with the Adventurers Guild? So at least we have easier time to contact each other instead of going name by name.
It's a good idea. Now, but what are we going to call ourselves?
It's a good question.
You're muted, Nick.
I said we are a rather unlikely troop.
Any ideas, Carlisle or Sylvia?
Perhaps the Wayfarers? That's just what I
Alright.
thought of based off of the amulet.
That's
Yeah.
I like
it's
it.
Wayfears. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm saying the
but,
Wayfarers makes more sense instead of saying we are the Wayspheres or Wayfears. No one would
Wayfears.
understand that.
Man,
People would
could
know
you at least get my
Wayfarer,
dad's
you know?
name right. Okay.
Besides the practical
I-
use,
I'm
it's
not-
just a play on words that I don't
Yes,
think the
yeah.
druid is quite grasping.
It's based off of that.
Well, I like
Ildor
that. Wayfarers.
Squidwins. Ildor Squidwins.
corner.
I guess Sylvia mispronounced my dad's name.
That would be par for the course. I'd like that. Just Wayfarers, just to make it intentional. Any thoughts, Carlisle?
vanilla wafers? No. I'm just kidding.
Vanilla wafers.
I kind of liked Sylvia's idea. Wayfarers.
Okay, yeah, that is kind of fair. I don't really have a better name off the top of the head. I gotta be honest.
Well, it is kind of odd that we were all, or like as I said, we are an unlikely troop. It seems that something brought us together. Why not the Fated Five?
I like that.
Faded, bro. Right.
Wait.
Right after the
Faded
comics.
5.
Faded. You're taking so much, or faded because we're meant to be together.
That's gotta be the title of the video, and you gotta edit our character looking high as fuck.
Yes.
All red eyes.
Faded as FATD.
Yeah.
Drink that chronic brew.
Of course. I'm just saying.
Session so far, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we have some sessions, man.
We're on our shit today.
Okay. Enough memeing. That sounds good.
Yes, the Faded Five.
I like that better than the one where we mispronounced my dad's name.
It was the first thing that came to mind. I was just throwing one out there.
We're totally mispronouncing it.
Let's go register this name under at the Adventurers Guild so that we can contact each other better. Then I'll
Okay,
see you
but
all
wait.
off.
Who are we nominating to be our head guy?
Well,
Do we
I
need
don't
a
think
leader?
there necessarily needs to be a leader.
I kind of feel like
What?
there has to be.
Well, we're all better at.
We should ask the guild. The guild might require there to be.
The
someone
guild might
considered to be in
require
charge.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out when we go.
As you follow down to the Adventurers Guild building.
We'll take the horse and carriage to the Adventurers
Yeah, of
Guild
course.
on our way out of town.
Of course. Going into the Adventurers Guild, registering yourselves as the Fated Five, the man behind the counter doesn't, you inquire about a leader or something. He says, there doesn't necessarily have to be a leader per se, but there will be an appointed person above you all in the Adventurers Guild. Let me see who we have available.
So kind of like a handler or something.
A liaison.
Kind of like a liaison. Ryan is available?
That's the one.
That's the one.
I will
I
scribble his
feel
name.
like I've heard of this Ryan before.
Does he have a last name? Or?
And
And then I'm just imagining the hand
Rogers
on the
with a
chin,
D.
and then like the thought bubble, like the thought cloud comes out of my head.
Ryan Rogers, Rodgers.
Rogers.
He will be your liaison.
I love it.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Putting pen and paper together for your names.
See Ryan Rogers.
The Fated Five. I'll come with a better last name. But
It's too late. You already made it.
Ryan Rogers.
as putting pen on paper, solidifying yourselves as the Fated Five, registering with the Adventurers Guild. It's gonna make things a lot easier going forward in the future, in terms of making contact again. Stepping out of the Adventurers Guild, Rosie, is there any more departing words before you venture out on your own accord?
Friends, the journey has not been the longest of them, but it's been good. And he kind of starts motioning for you all to start coming in for a hug. Group hug. Let's do it. No? Nobody?
I think he goes in.
Ojor
Hesitant,
goes in.
but he goes in.
After everybody else goes in, Sylvia
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
over as well.
You just wait and test the group.
Gives like a
first.
tap.
You're like, alright.
With that, Rosi, you bid farewell as you see him disappear amongst the denizens of Thaldor, waiting to be seen again as he
Bathed in
disappears into the
fire.
background of his camera. Moving out of the city of Thaldor, though, it is about a 2 days journey to Jaluth, going over back through the Brownog Hills, basically along the same path you guys had went. Approximately on the second day, or as the second day starts, in the middle of the Brownog Hills, Iljor, as the party awakes, has their morning rations or breakfast, setting down the camp, packing everything back in the horse and carriage. You hear the call of a bird overhead, and it's seemingly the only bird in the sky currently. This particular bird begins to circle around, and really only you notice it at this point, as things are being packed, everybody's getting ready to head out. This bird begins to swoop and dive bomb you as it comes down and very gracefully sits on the side of the carriage. It is a what appears to be a dark brown homing pigeon, larger, much larger than a regular, as we would know, pigeon. This is probably roughly about 2/3 of the size of an owl, much larger, like I said, than a regular pigeon. And it bears
It's almost like the size of like a crow.
bigger,
or something.
bigger,
Oh.
a little bit bigger. But it bears a scroll around its left leg, and it's just looking directly at you.
I wonder who this is from. First, I take some of the. I actually, I'll use one of my spells. I'll cast Good Berry. I'll make enough berries for everyone, +1, and I'll feed the extra berry to the homing pigeon.
Okay. It takes it and begins to nibble on it.
Thank you.
The note is in your journal entries. It would appear. It appears under Iljor's note. Let me know if you see it.
I do. Oh, guys, it's a message from my mom.
Oh, yeah?
This is a homing pigeon that she bought. His name is Hermes.
What's it say?
It says, Iljor, my sweet boy, I've been worried sick about you. I sure hope you haven't succumbed to the dangers outside of the Silverdell. I'd like for you to meet Hermes. He's a homing pigeon that I bought, so I could send you this message. Please return home. I love you.
Are all of our moms gonna periodically just call us back home?
Mine definitely will not.
Be missing and we're gone. Actually, I'm
Like,
not
a
even
homing pigeon's like expensive, right? Like, this is a big purchase that she made.
They're expensive. But yeah, this is a significant purchase for the both of you.
I pet him on the head with my huge hand. Just
Okay.
thank you,
Twinkle
Hermes.
his head.
Yeah, it's just like, here, let me write Mama a message back. We don't have any plans right now. I might consider stopping by home on our way, once we leave the Jalush. It's a little bit of a trek, but, at least I could tell Mom what's happened to the necklace and everything.
Alright, how long is that trek?
How long was it from
Oh.
I know we went a very inefficient way to get here from where I live. I know that if I actually go straight from, like straight home from Duluth, it's much faster, right? Because it was slow because we went down to another town, then across, then up.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say it took anywhere from 4 to 6 days.
It's like a week.
Yeah, ish. Off the top of my head that I can remember.
Okay. It would be about a week's trek. There. I don't know where you all need to go after we're done. I know I've already taken up a lot of your time. I don't want to, impress myself on you guys too much, because I know we all came together for this specific, thing. And
Yeah.
it's gonna.
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll see where we're at, Iljor, but I've traveled with you this long. I suppose I can make this trip with you if you wish.
Yeah, you guys get to meet my mom. She makes really good food.
I'm not your date, Iljor.
Well, I don't know. We're in a party with the Adventurers Guild. I don't know. That seems kind of important.
Is there any cultural difference we should be aware of before we go off?
I mean, she's just kind of like me, I
They
guess.
put moss in their food.
Okay.
Yeah, there's moss in the food. Have you tried some moss? I pulled the moss out of the bag of holding. It's really good. Trust me, they didn't trust me, but I don't know if you were there when we tried the moss.
I don't think anybody else liked it, bud.
Well, was the entire party there? I don't remember.
Well, no,
It
I think it was
I think
just.
it was at least me and
Yeah, I don't know
Rosie.
if we had. I don't know if we had the whole party at that time.
No, it was just an Arian and Rosie.
Yeah. See, Anarian and Arosi weren't huge fans, but I don't know. Like, you live underwater, so it might be more up to your palate as opposed to them.
Perhaps.
Weird way to think about that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like people that live underwater eat weird stuff too.
Yeah, that's true.
your palate's weird, bro.
But
Weird champ.
as you take the scroll, read it, indulge the party in its contents. Hermes.
I want to send her something back, actually.
Okay.
Trent is too big, right?
Yes.
Trent is way too big.
Yes.
Just making sure.
The Monty Python reference waiting to happen.
Trent, what is the speed of a laden?
Yeah.
What is
The airspeed velocity.
of an unladen swallow?
Yeah.
An African or
An
European
African swallow, maybe,
I
but
don't really have anything to send back to her, so I'm just gonna send her back 10 gold.
Okay.
I fucking love that scene.
it's so good.
Send her back some money. Tie a little
Just
pouch.
because I know that this was a big purchase.
Tie a little pouch to Hermes' little leg. You see the bird kind of flutter a little bit, and moments later, takes off into the sky, circling overhead for a couple moments, and then heading west, back to the Silver Dell. This little interaction is very quick, as the day presses on into the night. The city of Duluth is reachable by morning, but everybody being in the state that they are and traveling for so long takes dusk as a sign to pack it in for the night. Setting your tents back up, creating the fire again, exchanging stories, though not much is said as you are
I love you, like.
as you're ever
I
so
found
close-
the gift.
Oh, you found the. Oh,
Continue. Yeah. He said,
shit.
"My favorite color is blue."
Is not much is said. Not many words are exchanged. You guys are so close to completing the whole mission of getting rid of the amulet. Everybody packs it in for the night. Anarian, as you begin to indulge in your trance. I would like you to roll for initiative.
Oh, there it is.
Actually roll.
Yes, let me pull up my sheet real quick. Oh, it says there's no so add 2 to this. I'm just gonna roll a d20.
Okay.
So 13.
Okay. 13. As you are met with this scene, can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
The background noise is back, Cody.
This scene all around you, you are thrust back into the room in which you had your previous vision. Probably I think it was a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah.
There lies a body at the end of the room, shrouded in darkness, as the light of these torches and the chandelier overhead is illuminating the throne room. Several bodies lay out from the carpet as your eyes open, taking in this environment. You're thrust into the position of two swords meeting one another. Go ahead and roll to attack.
That's not what I wanted. Attack.
First roll, unfortunately, as the two swords pressing together, forcefully trying to overpower the other. You leap back, you go for the thrust. This guard shifts one particular way as he is going to attempt to hit you for 2 points of slashing damage. As he comes down, and your armor bears most of the hit, but blade does meet flesh in this instance. Go ahead and roll to attack once more.
Yes. Better this time. Absolutely better.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll for damage. Ten slashing damage as his sort of movement and hitting you to the side has, unfortunately for him, bared a vulnerable spot and part of his armor. As you come down, and instead of blade meeting your flesh, meets his flesh on the side, through parts of his armor. As he's kind of taken aback, he begins to create some distance on you, just enough to be out of your range. As he holds his side, as you're both kind of taking in deep breaths, he's holding his side, kind of trying to stand up. Do you really think you'll get away with this? The Council of Caldera will hunt you down for as long as you live.
He says that, and I look back to him and just scream, "Cheater!" And I'm gonna try and, if I am allowed to have an action, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast right at him.
Okay, go ahead and roll. That was so goddamn close.
That's a good one.
Go ahead and roll for damage. 6 damage as you cast Eldritch Blast at his torso. It hits his upper left shoulder and begins to spin him around. He's almost taken off and almost defeated as he turns around. Begins to bloody. Takes 2 deep breaths. No. I will not be slain by the heir of that which I have served so loyally for 10 years. And he begins to run.
I'm gonna
push open the doors.
Okay.
You're able to make one action as he's like now running to get to the doors. He's pushed the doors open and is like going into the night.
I'm just gazing towards him with a very just like a vicious scowl. I take a 5-foot step forward, and I'm gonna cast another Eldritch Blast at him.
Okay. As you cast the Eldritch Blast from your finger, the magic begins to, from your sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to remember that. As the magical effects of the Eldritch Blast begin to consume the front of the sword, it shoots out and begins to illuminate the entire throne room. And before it hits the man, blackness. As you were thrust back into your tent. This vision eerily reminiscent of the previous one you had. But you're just thrust in this cold sweat in your tent. I don't think you share a tent with anybody, no?
No, I have my own.
And as you look around, your initial view, your eyes glare to your sword, and focusing on it for but a moment, the sword, instead of you calling out to it, it has established contact with you, and it is just maniacally laughing. Echoes like if it's laughing in a cave or a large cathedral. You could just hear it echoing, bouncing off walls in your head as the laughing slowly fades out.
Do you wish to drive me mad with these visions?
The laughing kind of just fading out of existence. Nothingness.
You do this to me again. And he just sits there, kind of fuming.
Iljor, you are on guard duty. You hear Anarian, though softly and angrily, spewing these words. It takes you off guard. You're not really sure what's going on.
I'm gonna go over and wake him up. Or try at least.
I sure am awake.
Yeah. You open up his tent frantically, making sure he's okay, and he is awake, staring at his sword, kind of. You can see he's been, he's a little disheveled.
Niryan, are you okay, man?
I have not gotten very good rest.
You should probably put your sword away.
This is part of my nightly ritual, shall we say.
Okay. I just, I haven't seen people fall asleep holding a sword before.
I'm not holding it. It lays in front of me.
Oh. Okay, just don't fall over on it or anything, I guess.
No.
All right, back about your business. I like re-zip up or tie the tent or whatever it is and leave him alone.
Iljor, I'm sorry.
About what?
For bothering you, if I have startling you, whatever it may have been.
No, it's okay, man. I was worried about you.
I'll be fine. Just have my own issues to work through.
You just let me know. I'm here to talk. If you never need anything. Maybe my mom can help. She's good to talk to.
Something tells me she won't have the insight that I need.
Well, you never know. Moms know a lot of stuff.
That they do.
All right. Good night.
As Iljor goes back to his guard duty, zips up the tent, and Arian taking a deep breath, looking back at your sword. Silence. The voice appears once more. He got away. He got away. With this maniacal laugh that fades back out into the night of the Brown Hills.
You show me a memory I do not remember, and laugh at me for its escape. Who was really in control there?
Silence. As the rest of the night is a burden on your shoulders, trying to catch up on the sleep that you've so drastically needed, though you were able to kind of overcome a lot of it while you were in Thaldor, getting a great night's rest. The weight of the Diaker's journey still weighs on everybody.
He does something similar as you know, when that last vision came to him, when he sat with Hiroshi at the campfire afterwards. He if the campfire is still going, he'll get up and make his way to it and try to calm himself and just sort of stare into the fire and collect himself.
Okay. Sylvia, Carlisle, as you take turns on your guard watch duty, you find an Arian sitting there at the campfire, remaining still, staring into the embers. The sounds of owls and crickets echo throughout the Brown Oak Hills as it is your last night out of Jaluth. The night passes fairly quickly, except for Narian.
So when Sylvie goes out the tent and sees an Arian sitting there, she just asks him, is anything on your mind?
More than I could express.
I think we could all use some relaxation. Ways to relieve the stress that's been building up.
It seems whenever I try, something else comes to meet me in the night.
I can relate. Well, I hope some rest can soothe you.
It is appreciated. I hope so as well. And he sits there. After she begins her watch, he'll actually begin maintenance on his blade, sharpening it and oiling it, make sure it's in good condition.
Okay. Night goes on. Dawn meets the horizon. Everybody seemingly wakes up around the same time. And before too long, everybody kind of gathers their things, their tents, and begins to kind of pack up to get to Jaluth. Sorry, Raptor's fucking mom is fucking distracted me.
Mom.
No, don't say anything, dude. What?
You're distracting my DM.
Oh my god, dude. No, do not say anything. God damn it, Rap.
Hey, Mom, the DM says silent.
Ryan wants you to be quiet.
I love your mom, dude. Don't say.
Brian wants you to be quiet.
Hey, don't fucking. Hey, tell her right now.
You tell her the truth.
Tell her. You got Rap. I'm kicking
Tell her
you.
the goddamn truth.
Brian told me to tell you that that's not what he said, and he's sorry.
You should say you're sorry, bitch.
Yeah. He's sorry for something he didn't actually say.
Anyway, Iljor loses all interest. He just kind of wanders about the Brown Elk Hills the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Lost forever. He develops dementia.
Instantly.
DM's wrath. DM's woe.
Waking up in the morning, though, it is a very short trek to Duluth, maybe like an hour or two. Which I think I can activate this. Yeah, we're here. Arriving in Duluth, saddling up, or not saddling up, but kind of checking in the horse and carriage into the stables. having your breakfast for the morning, of course. It's early enough in the morning that the places are essentially open. It's probably like around 8 a.m. But yeah, well, what would you like to do? You just stepped in Duluth. It's completely up to you guys. If you guys would want to
return our horse.
Let us get this thing
Shadow,
off of our hands once and for all.
So, do we still have Shadow or Soul, or did we leave them
it's
here?
the same.
Those are the horses.
Still have them.
Those are the horses that Arosi bought, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sent you
So
guys.
we left Shadow and Soul here.
You bought the carriage.
Yes.
No,
These are different horses,
It's
right?
You guys had
Soul.
used Shadow and Soul, or whatever it was, to Thaldor, and then from Thaldor you guys got your own because you had to trek to the Diacre, and that Arosi wasn't gonna go against the Thieves Guild because that wasn't on the agenda. Like they were only aware of you guys going to Thaldor. So
these are our horses.
Your horses.
These are
yes.
our horses.
Yeah, bought by
Yes.
Arosi. But okay, if adventuring to the Arcana Guild and visiting Ontario Asgard is the top priority,
Yep.
Mr. Ontario.
you guys venture further into the city, coming to the building that was described as the Arcana's Guild. Thank you for whoever's doing that. Stepping inside of the Arcana building, it looks much like what you're seeing on the screen. It's furnished with various tapestries and high-end furniture. There's hues of blue, purple, and red, green. There's various mages running about and kind of conducting small experiments and shuffling through papers, and it's not hectic, but it's organized hectic. Everybody seems to be doing a particular job, and doing it well, feeling or looking like they're comfortable, and everybody seems to be kind of off-put. These are all middle-aged, some young apprentice mages are even at apprentice level would be sort of like in their early 20s if you're talking about like humans.
Ryan, on my screen, it's showing the Thaldor.
It just
Nice.
looks kind of like it.
No, so these images are like these aren't images of any particular place. This is just kind of like
They're just generic images.
yeah, they're generic images. But yeah, the though this image is of sort of like the district where guilds would normally come up, and this building in particular is very similar to the one in Duluth, because I believe the way this artist created it was sort of kind of like an Arcana Guild, or if not, I've kind of just assumed it's the Arcana Guild. But
This is the generic guild district.
yeah,
That's what this is. This is magic.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
but as you step in, you see these mages going about their work. There's a slight sense of in the air of like lavender, and like burning incense. And it's pretty open. I know I've kind of described a lot of people going about, but it's not crowded by any means. Everybody kind of seems to fit into a particular role. Shortly after stepping in and kind of taking in the environment, a familiar wizard almost passes you, but stops momentarily. Gentlemen and lady, it's good to see you again, as you see the presence of Ontero Asgard in all his glory standing before you. Well, I barely recognized you without your stone coat. What can I help you with?
It's a very comfortable coat, I've got to be honest. Not
well,
my favorite.
we've considered our options with the amulet, and the
Well,
one.
George.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
So yeah, basically our first plan that we did with the amulet really didn't work out. Yeah, pretty bad. We're pretty bad. Gonna be honest. So we decided to give it to the Arcana Guild to see if they may be able to look into it a little bit more, find out some more information.
Very well, very well. I'll be happy to help you out with that. Magically imbued items would be in Office 116. You don't mind? I'd like to chaperone you there.
Sure.
This is
Thank
a
you.
rather dangerous magical item.
Yeah, it's
Ontaro.
pretty dangerous.
Well, be that as it may, this doesn't put any of us in apparent danger here, right? You didn't just bring a...
No, it's inside
Horrifying.
a bag. It's inside a bag of holding.
You
It'll
didn't
be
bring
fine.
a
you-
bomb,
You
right?
didn't bring a bomb!
Yeah, no, it's kind of a bomb.
Kicked out of our backup.
Oh man.
That would be hilarious.
Is that like the whole throw you to the ocean plan?
Yeah.
It's,
Bag of holding, you see. Okay, very well. This is inherently dangerous, like you say. Let's hurry up and get to Maloro.
Is there like a containment area that we could
Follow
take
me,
in?
follow me.
Yeah, that's
As
probably
he
good.
hurries around, he looks like he's maneuvering much more elegantly through the vast amounts of people than you guys are. You guys are kind of bumping into other mages and kind of getting in the way, whereas he kind of feels out the crowd and is able to maneuver with his years of experience.
Knows the vibe.
Getting to a much more open and less crowded area through the corridors and stuff. You guys are able to kind of slow it down a little bit and maintain a decent walking pace as he turns to the collective of the group. So, how is everybody enjoying Jaluth so far?
Well, we just got back. We actually went to Thaldor. Yeah, it's a whole story.
Okay, very well, very well. Maloro Court. He is the man you want to speak to. He is sort of the resident expert on various magically imbued items. Right this way down this hall to the left, as he ventures forward, he knocks on one of the doors and proceeds to open to a fairly large room, much larger than what it would seem on the outside, as the rooms in the Arcana Guild are magical themselves to kind of create this space of it's like the Harry Potter tent where you walk in, it's like larger.
Spatial magic.
Yeah, spatial magic. As this room is shelved with various items in like encased to kind of preserve them. Various wands and really just a collective amalgamation of magical items that don't appear to be dangerous from Carlisle. You looking at them, they seem to be common and some of them rare, but nothing that really like catches your eye and you're like, oh, like that is something you recognize or anything. But coming in, there is a elven man standing approximately 6 foot tall. He's got long dark hair kind of strewn around and tied behind his head. He's wearing a particular set, very closely resembles Ontero's robes, but these are more kind of dark green. As he looks at Ontero when he walks in. Ontero, what can I help you with? As Ontero begins to kind of gesture towards you guys. These gentlemen have something for you. I hope it's, as he peers to you, Iljor, safe.
Well, you know, relatively speaking.
It's currently contained. Iljor, don't say another word that might get us fucking thrown out again.
Well, okay, fine.
He accepts it.
I look back to the mage and say it is actively contained.
Yeah, it's in a bag of holding.
Let me see it.
Okay. I reach into the bag of holding, and I set it on the table, and I open it on the table.
This elven individual, once he sees the amulet, his eyes perk up. As you set it on one of his workbenches, he begins to maneuver around. And he begins to get real close to it. It is a beautiful amulet of the Vanois people. What can you tell me about
Let me
it?
write that down.
Well, you guys already knew that.
Oh, I guess I just forgot
Yeah.
the name.
What can you tell me about it? As he's now kind of trying to gauge your information on it.
So Anira kind of looks to Carlisle real quick and says, "You do know the most. However, watch your words."
First, I'll explain how it was found. Okay, before we go into the whole what it is.
Yes,
so,
continue, Iljor.
It was found by my father at a kind of a dig where they dug up a bunch of old stuff, and this was one of the items that was found there that my father had in his possession, which has been passed down to me by my mother.
Okay. Is
Real
there
quick,
anything you
can you
can
tell me what this guy's name was again?
Meloro Court. Melouro. Meloro Court. Court.
Thank you.
Okay, Ryan. No, okay, out of game later.
Okay.
I want you to read your original message you sent me with that amulet.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan said that he looked back on his notes and he might have actually called it a bomb.
Well,
Yes,
no,
he did.
but
He did.
yeah. Well, because I told everybody, I looked at my notes.
Bomb. They did not want to be around.
But you took it in a literal sense that it was a bomb. I wasn't.
Yeah.
So, 10% is my fault for.
It planted the words in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10, 40, 40.
I did tell you that you did not know what what would have happened.
True.
But
Expose it. Leaking DMs.
as this elven man turns to you, Carlisle, as seemingly the collective group is gesturing towards you to kind of explain a little bit more about what you think the amulet is.
Right. Basically, from what I've gathered, it seems to involve some sort of ancient chaotic magic, and the moon sequences you see on the amulet represent a passage of time. At some point, when this passage of time, the duration that must be met, is reached, the magic within releases. Whatever that may be.
Quite on the nose, actually. The Vanois people are little studied, but heavily rumored. I've seen few artifacts from these people, but I don't know much about them. We know that they were very primitive in terms of their technology, but looking at this amulet as he sets it, he maneuvers it a particular way, he gets really close and he begins to mutter something under his breath. Now, what happens next is a surprise to everybody. as you see the amulet, the ends, like its points, begin to angle up. So like picture like a star, but now it's like this. The green gems around it begin to glow, and the swirl in the middle begins to maneuver clockwise. With this incantation, he kind of sets up. I have never seen this before. Has it done anything like this before?
Oh yeah, it did that once before. I think that when it does it a lot, it's gonna like do magic.
It glowed, but it didn't change shape.
Yeah,
Oh, it changed shapes.
It only glowed.
What does it look like now, Ryan?
I explained what it looked like.
He did just explain it.
I was like halfway paying attention. I gotta be honest.
So the points, each of the points, like kind of curved in, and the like middle like swirl, started rotating.
Oh.
I've never seen anything from the Vanois do this before. As he's trying to say this, the swirl in the middle begins to kind of like open up, and you can see into the swirl as it begins to emit a white light from within. The amulet slowly begins to move, and for a moment, whatever is happening, you think might be the reason what this is meant to be. Several events are going on through your head of what is about to happen, but as everybody runs through their collective thoughts and theories, the swirl stops, closes, returns to its metal form. The points bend back down, and the amulet stays in its original form, or like returns to its original form.
Yeah, no, definitely never done that before.
Maloro kind of thinking, this goes beyond our technological knowledge of the Vanois. I don't know what to say. Where did you find this?
Said, I lived in the Silverdale Forest with my parent. Well, I did. Anyway, my dad's gone now. But he dug it up. I mean, that's it. They dug it up out of the ground.
This absolutely, as he looks over to Ontero, who has not been saying a word and has just been kind of staring. And he says, I don't know if I like the look of that. Maloro just kind of takes a deep breath. Surely this has to go to Decimity. Only there that can they really truly dissect what this is capable of.
What is in Decimity?
The Institute of Scholars, the old world scholars, the smartest people that have studied history and have given their lives in the pursuit of knowledge. They're like monks, but specifically for world history. They don't venture out. They have their own sets of values, and they are welcome to any and all new forms of knowledge, whether that be through items or books or long-lost civilizations. Anything that the people of Hrathen can get their hands on, they normally send it there. It gets categorized and studied, and well, the library of Genjudos in Decimity is vast. It's the largest library in the world.
How do you spell Genjudos?
It's TJENDOS. JUDOS. I think. Yeah, TJENDJUDOS.
Thank you.
I can give you a contact card for the place where we send it. And if you wish to gather any more information, they might be able to send you something of what they found. They normally send it to us, but anybody who donates any sort of items from the Lost World, we at least offer the opportunity for the person to know a little bit more about it.
We would appreciate that greatly.
I would appreciate that very much so.
And he hands you a card, Eljor. I'll just make it everybody observer, since everybody would collectively kind of look at it under journal entries.
Emma Fortune.
Emza Fortune is the sort of liaison we have at the Institute. She takes a very small subset of certain items from around Hrathen and processes them. She is just the main person that we send our items to.
Thank you very much.
No problem. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is capable of. This is far beyond what I thought the Vanois was capable of.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just kind of recommend storing it in some type of secure container.
Or ridding of it.
Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure doing business.
Absolutely.
Ontero? They both look at each other, and Ontero and Maloro share a firm handshake as Ontero gestures the party to kind of leave Maloro at his leave and do his own sort of...
Ontero, does he follow us out?
Behind, yes.
Okay.
Ontero shuts the door behind him. Is there anything else I can help you with while you're in Jaluth?
Do you guys need anything?
Not at the moment.
Well, let us go to the front. I'm assuming some small finder's fee is in order. Surely if this leads to a grander discovery. Ontero kind of leads you to a certain district or certain department in the Arcana Guild and gives the finder's fee is 120 gold for this particular item. It's kind of
for the whole
split.
party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What's that? Like
Finder's fee. Okay.
That would
it's-
be 40 gold if it's split.
yeah, 40 gold each.
Wait,
Well,
no.
no,
it
not
would
quite.
be 30. It would be 30 if it was just the four of us.
Yeah.
I am just gonna point out that my dad is the one that found the necklace.
Well, where's your dad?
he's
Damn.
Well,
Ildor,
Sorry
we
to-
did all
sorry to hear
assist
that.
you on this.
Yeah, I know. I'm just pointing it out.
That's not.
Again, a
Yes.
druid, a Furbo druid, is obsessed with money now.
Yeah.
You already.
I'm just
went
pointing
ahead
out that the
with
finder
gold
of the
and
item
didn't argue
was
for
my
you to have
dad.
more gold, but you know.
You want me to give some money to your dad?
That is true. Carlisle did negotiate on your part for more gold when you were restored from the basilisk. So
Yeah, I didn't actually know that.
Well, that's what I just said as Carlisle. I just said like, yeah.
I'm not gonna take the money away, but I'm just saying my dad is the one that found it.
Yes,
So you're
we're
just
glad to
randomly
have helped
pointing
you
that
rid
out
it.
here.
Ildor bringing the party together, one day at a time.
Hey, don't be mean.
Okay. As
So, As we are about to leave, I would like to take a second, and I wanted to speak to when everybody's walking out the door, I wanted to turn and have a quick word with Antaro.
Okay. Yeah, he stops and he's kind of reading the body language that something is to be said.
Yeah.
I got a place.
I appreciate your help again. I'm sure everybody else expressed that as well. However, I'm not usually one to tie myself to one place, but I am always looking for ways to learn more of the magical arts and increase my abilities. So if you happen to need any assistance in anything, always feel free to reach out to me.
Likewise.
Appreciate it. And I'll give him a handshake.
Handshake is exchanged as the party ventures out from the Arcana Guild. This weight sort of off your shoulders, and as you expressed, Iljor, in the beginning of the session, there is a difference between casting it into a sphere of annihilation and sending it off to an unknown land. Two vastly different scenarios. One that Iljor sort of feels like he's failed in ridding it. But on the flip side, it won't affect his mother anymore, and it won't affect you or the friends you've made along the way. And something about Antero and Maloro and the professionalism of the Arcana Guild sort of gives you at least a minuscule amount of faith that wherever this amulet might find its way to will in fact be cared by proper hands.
It's not going to be used for evil.
Yes. As everybody comes together outside of the Arcana Guild, Sylvia with pressing matters in Riol, Arosi departing, spending his time investigating the cults, Ildor's mother reaching out to you in hopes of receiving something. Though time has passed, in your view, fairly quickly. It's been several weeks since your mother has heard about you, and she can only hope that you're still alive. Carlisle, going with Sylvia, no matter which way she goes, your best friend. There are matters in Autumn Reach that can always be attended to. And Anarian, with the latest realization that somebody might have gotten away that fateful night in Starstrider Hold, there's a long talk about where do we go from here. And there is this thought, this matter of this, though the people have kind of obligations, that it may not be, and hopefully it will not be, the last time everybody sees each other. And I will close the session on that. And next time we play, we will pick it up 1 year later.
Oh shit.
1 year after sending the amulet out to Yosemite. As everybody parts ways, shakes hands.
Skip.
And yeah, everybody level up.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
What a session.
I love it.
I'll have to consult birthdays. Iljor, your birthday was like in a week and a half.
Like 2 weeks, literally 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So I probably would celebrate my birthday with my mom.
Yeah. Honestly, you would probably be back in time for your birthday. Let me consult the calendar and see exactly where I want to place everybody at what time.
All right.
Somebody, I think everybody pretty much ages at least 1 year, but let me consult and then I'll let you guys know.
I haven't been in the attic.
Well, it would make sense that if a year passes, everyone ages a year.
Well, it might be 10 months. It might be 11
my
months.
shit.
It might be 10, 11
Yeah,
months. It
one
might be 13, 14 months. I haven't decided yet. But one thing I want you guys to kind of briefly summarize is what your characters will be doing in this 1 year span to kind of focus on the one like whatever they want to do. I know they have their obligations, and I will kind of get one-on-one with everybody and kind of determine what happens, because I sort of have a plan. But this gives everybody time to well, I won't get into full spoilers, but you guys will be brought back together for sure. But yeah,
just we need to run the game.
I like it.
Well,
I like the time skip though.
yeah.
Yeah,
I do think it's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's got their home issues to deal with.
Let's see, the tavern. I am gonna post some artwork in the time that I have been sitting out.
Sick. But yeah, everybody just briefly, like, I don't need like anything. I just need like a verbal, like, hey, my character wants to do this for the next year, and like, you know, some interest or whatever. If your character wants to accomplish something, Cody, that's a great time for you to kind of like start your what we talked about with your crafting and everything. So I'll get with you guys one-on-one, and hopefully if we can play next week. If we can't, we'll just wait for next week. But yeah. All right.